Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Mark. Just got back and kind of decompressing from my trip to Sebring. I thought I would do a video about all the cool stuff, crap, whatever else might be that I picked up at Sebring. Now, I will admit one thing. I had two goals when I was there. One was to get autographs for a certain number of model cards. You can only get so much. And I achieved everything I expected to get. Yay! That was to also pick up some new model cars and some all other really cool stuff like programs, posters, autographed, cards. And I got just about every team, in addition to getting the signatures I wanted, which was quite an accomplishment. Even though I have to admit, I kind of cheated a little bit with the Corvette team because being a part of the Corvette corral, I get those guys first. I got them to sign really cool posters with their new one-off livery that you're only going to see at Sebring. In fact, speaking of one-off liveries, I just discovered, talking to one of the Corvette guys, that when they have one-off liveries, as they have had for the past several years, it is always at Sebring. And they're one-offs, and they're usually celebrating something they're either doing with sponsors or something to do with Corvette racing. So it will always be at Sebring. And there you can see my little Sebring 12-hour Mobile One, a little collector's badge that you get. They're aluminum. I typically post them to my autograph thing that I put together. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. The other thing I want to say too is I want to thank everybody who enjoyed all my videos. I got about 16,000, 17,000 views this weekend. 300 new subscribers. Thank you very much for everybody that joined on. I am glad to have you. I thought two highlights, particularly of my paddock video, and many of you may not realize that, but for those of you who saw that, those of you that saw the Aston Martin Valkyrie, the two of them that they brought out, the one that is on the cover of my video is the test livery. That car was only brought out because they packaged it together with their other car, the one that they raced, and they had to move that out of the way so they could get all their crap together. And once they did that, they took it back. So those of you that saw it on my video, it was only out for about 20 minutes and then gone. And most people who didn't get up at 6:30 in the morning to get there at 7:30 were not going to see that. Unfortunately, some lowlifes is I made some misidentifications of cars. I did correct myself, but I caught a lot of crap from viewers. And I also took a substantial amount of footage of me walking around, and I'm sorry about that. Usually I don't do that. My apologies. But I think you got three big things out of it. You got to look at both Aston Martin Valkyries. You got to look at the new Corvette and the Corvette livery, and I'm going to show you that in this video. And you got to look at the BMW 50th anniversary livery on their BMW hybrid V8s, which coincidentally they will have for the rest of the year. That is not a one-off. So let's take a look at the stuff I got, and we'll start with the model cars. I only bought 3 model cars at the race. These are all TSM models. You got the number 3 and the number 4 Corvettes by TSM in 146 Grill. This is the new Corvette Z06, and I am going to compare this to the old one and show you the differences. They look substantially different. I really like the liveries on it. I mean, it's yellow, but that's what you get with Corvette, and I really like it, and it's really, really sharp. The other thing I got, and you've probably seen a lot of these on eBay, was the Roxy car. It just came out literally last week, and we will do a review of that as well. If you've seen my Rexy video, which is the most popular video that I've ever done as far as a single-scale model car, this will probably follow up with that. The new Spike LMP2 is not out yet. I talked with PJ Hyatt, the owner of the team, when I was there at the race. He said he is also supposed to get one of the cars. He hasn't gotten his yet, so none of us have. And that is just how it goes. Now, one thing I mentioned, I wanted to get a lot of signatures, and I did get a lot of signatures. These are signatures from the number 3 Corvette dating back to, I believe that is 2020. The number 4 back in, I think this might have been 2022. And I only got Tommy Milner's signature because I didn't have the other drivers that were on that car at that time. And Tommy Milner was signing a lot of shirts with him shooting the bird at Paul Miller Racing, which was a big thing and was all over Sebring. And then I have the number 3 car, the one-off livery, the one that they did at Sebring. And I got 2 of the signatures for that, and you can see that in the background. And for those of you that don't know how to do that, I'm going to show it to you. It's really pretty simple. Now, guys, these two are 2 of Robin Frien's cars. that he raced at Macau. He is now a BMW factory works driver, so I was able to get these signatures from him. And I walked up to him. He was the first one that sat down at the table. I didn't recognize him, so I knew it was him. I said, "You wouldn't happen to be Mr. Frines, would you?" He goes, "Yes, I have been for 35 years." And then we went on, we talked. And let me show you how we go about getting these signatures. Now, what I did is I went with all the signatures I wanted, and I put on the back of it what the car was, who the driver was, where it was from, so I could show it to the driver so that he was legitimately signing something, because they sign a lot of crap. And believe it or not, I think Danny Yankadela, and I hope I said that right, and I'll show his in a moment, was the first time he ever signed anything like this. But this is the backing from the box that goes behind the car, and it will show like that. Guys, sadly, these things smear. This cardboard is very glossy. It does smear. It's a first mistake. I made the same mistake with this one as well, although not as badly. But anyhow, I call these autograph cards. You've seen me talk about that before. And that is what I use to get signatures. This way they don't sign the box or the car. I don't want them to sign the car. I never want them to sign the car. But I like having it in the background. I think it's a rather clever idea. Guys, now these are two cars I haven't even reviewed yet. This one here is a Mercedes-AMG Group M Racing DTM 2021 car. That of Daniel Yahadela, and I hope I said that correctly. If I haven't, or if I have, please let me know. For those of you who speak Spanish, I know several of you do. That was his car. And then this was the winner of the 2021 season, Maximilian Gotz, and I got his signature on there as well. I really wanted these because they're single cars like the Robin Frines were. They're easy. Both of those drivers were there. I knew they were going to be. I looked them up and I got it. Daniel Yankadela, he is now driving one of the Corvettes, and Maximilian Gotz is driving a Mercedes-AMG. No surprise. Then were the BMWs from a couple years ago. Now you're going to notice this one's missing. I don't know where the hell that car, back of that car, I lost it. You can see the IMSA there. You can see that I had, gosh, who was it that signed that? I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Anyhow, it was Sheldon van der Linden. Got his signature. I have lost this other one. I will find it, hopefully somewhere. That is one of the problems you have when you take these things out and you take them to a big event like that, and you're getting a lot of things, and you're seeing a lot of the stuff I picked up right back there. Now here I got signatures of a couple of the drivers like Matty Campbell, and Matthew Gemini and everything that run, they're Porsche drivers, but this was back when they ran for Pfaff Motorsports. And guys, that was it for the autographs that I picked up. Now, as far as other stuff, one thing you have to get at Sebring, of course, is the program. You got to have one of these. They're very, very cool. One thing I particularly like about the Sebring programs is they have a portion of it, and I'll show you the track and everything about that later. They have a portion that shows all the winners and color pictures of all the cars. Hey, we're car guys, aren't we? And of course, I won't be able. Yep, there we go. And you'll see it's really cool to see a history of all the winners over the years at Sebring, and you get that with the program, which I think is really, really, really cool. Even going back to the early days, 1952. Then, of course, are the IMSA stickers that you can get for your car and for your photo album I'm going to put together. Then, of course, there's the race weekend fan guide. And these are very nicely done. They show you everything that is going on that weekend, sponsors. Then there's Andy Blakemore's guide of the cars. It shows you every single car competing in the race, the livery that they expect, so forth and so on. Really, really cool. Places to go, things to do. Very, very sharp. You ever go to one of the races, you got to pick one of these things up. They are priceless. Guys, in this big Windward Racing thing that you see there are posters that I picked up at the race. Many of them, I'm going to pull out a couple of them and show them you here. Some of them I have wrapped up. The Mobile 12 Hours of Sebring, this was the anniversary livery that they had for the car. And as you can see, being in the Corvette Corral, I was lucky. I got all 6 of the drivers to sign it. You could also get to do that at their table, but if you did, you had to wait a long time because it's always hours long. But this was for, I got 2 of them. It's all 6 drivers for the number 3 and the number 4 car. And I'm going to give one of these away because I really don't need 2. But they didn't have a number 4 car poster, just number 3. But I got those. I also got the Ford Mustangs. I know you're going to go, oh, no, not a Mustang. Well, yeah, they have nice posters. They're really cool. They're odd size. They don't fit my book, so I'll probably end up giving these away to people that I know. But I got all 6 of their drivers and they actually had a pretty good race. Now, the rest of these, and I'm not going to show you, these are just posters. There's the event poster, and I got a couple of those. These wrapped in these Corvette racing bags are posters from teams. There's a whole bunch of crap. I'll show it to you later. I won't go over it now because we've got a really long one here. But that is all posters. And then there's finally what I have in this Corvette racing bag. And this is full of a number of things I'm going to show you. I've got racing guides. I have smaller individual posters. This is a really cool car. You may have seen my video at Daytona. That is the Aston Martin GT4 with the really neat livery done by Christine Sloss you see there. And, of course, I have guides in there. But most important... Oh, and I've got some individual things. The Porsche factory drivers, all of them have their individual cars like so. They don't just sign one card, which is kind of neat. That's Nick Tandy's. This is Maxi Goat's card. Now, you know, he also has his greatest achievements on the back of here. He also signed my car, so I was really glad to see him. And you've got Matt Campbell, Kevin Estrie, Lawrence Vantour, Felipe Nasr, and Matthew Jaminet, all of the Porsche guys. And these are little individual tiny cards that are really cool and are kind of neat.